I can't hear. Can you
Good
hear me?
I can hear you, Tim.
Right,
Good
okay, yeah,
evening, everybody.
Well.
This is BBC Radio Oxford on the BBC Sport website, live from St James's Park as Brackley Town take on Woking in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. They need to win this. It's a replay. They drew 1-1 last week, and they've got quite a good tie awaiting them if they make it through. I'm Carl Buckingham. I'm joined by Brackley aficionado Tim Carroll. Tim, your thoughts ahead of tonight's game?
Well, your introduction sets it out perfectly. This is a huge game here at St James Park for Brackley. As you say, the prize awaiting either Brackley or Woking is massive. It's my bet that it will be certainly one of the televised FA Cup games, first round. But before anyone can start thinking about that, the crucial thing is to put in the performance and get the result here this evening.
And for non-league teams like Brackley, it means a lot to get through to the FA Cup first round proper. The money's good, and as you say, the media coverage is even better. This is a big game.
Yeah, well, look, we can talk about the money and the prize money and a big game against Notts County here that would certainly attract all of 3,000 people. But it's about much more than that. It brings a lot of excitement, a lot of outside interest, as you say, from the media. And there's huge expectation around tonight's game, and then particularly thinking about the prospect of that first round visit by former FA Cup winners, Notts County, to St James Park. Let's just go back just a few seasons, and who would imagine that Brackley had taken on Manchester United, Premier League 2 side here, got Everton under 21 team coming next week, and talking about the prospect of former FA Cup winners Notts County coming to St James Park for an FA Cup first round game. These are the sort of things that dreams are made of, and Brackley supporters are living the dream at the moment, no doubt about that.
I love it, and Brackley have made the first round proper a few times in their history, last season being the most recent time they made it through. But let's take a look at the lineups. Brackley, who are in their usual home kit of red and white striped shirts, red shorts and red socks. Johnny Maxted in goal. We've got Kyle Morrison, Ryan Haynes, Gareth Dean, Morgan Roberts, Michael Nottingham, Jack Price, Matt Lowe, Zach Lilly, Danny Waldron and Scott Pollock. No changes made by manager Gavin Cowan, almost called Gareth Dean, the manager there. And Woking, they're yellow and navy blue shorts, yellow socks and yellow shirts. They've got Will Jaskalainen in goal. A familiar name to Oxford City fans, Aaron Drew is in their lineup. Caleb Richards, Chinwiki Okoli, Timmy Odusina, Matt Ward, Tunji Akinola, Josh Asudu, Timmy Akinola, Ashley Boatswain, who scored the equaliser at the weekend, and Jake Forster-Cassidy. And I'm going to hand over to Tim Carroll to take us through the action. We're
just seconds into the game here, and just an early throw into Brackley. As you say, the Brackley lineup is as the starting 11 on Saturday. Strange events on Saturday when the Woking manager made 5 substitutions all at the same time. I don't recall having seen that before. He was extremely unhappy with his side's performance in that first half, but certainly the changes made a difference, and it was a really interesting last 20 minutes to the game once Woking got the equaliser. Brackley certainly had the better of things and came away feeling a little aggrieved not to have gone through at the first opportunity. And here's an opportunity for Woking, and it's an early goal. We have just 1 minute on the clock, 60 seconds. Brackley gave away possession just outside their penalty area, and it didn't see who it was who advanced.
Jake Forster-Cassidy with the goal.
Jake Forster-Cassidy, who started on the bench on Saturday and made the starting lineup this evening, and he has found a clinical finish there after a Brackley defensive error and put his side 1-0 up with just 1 minute on the clock, and it certainly wasn't what anybody wearing the red and white of Brackley would have wanted this evening.
It's the worst possible start, and those 5 substitutes who came on at the same time the weekend have all started today. I believe Jake Forster-Cassidy, one of those that survived the cull to go. No, actually, he is one of those who came on. So tactical changes by Woking that are already coming to effect. It's all about how Brackley respond now.
Well, the good news is that Brackley have got 90 minutes to get back into this game, but a really poor start, the last thing that anybody would have wanted, and Brackley just need to settle. A little skewed ball out from captain Gazdeen, just goes straight out of play, but Brackley just need to settle, put that moment behind them. Very well taken goal, you have to say. It's given Woking this 1-0 lead here. Throw in just in front of our commentary position, and we'll have a little look at the shape that these two teams are lining up with in just a moment. I think nothing too unexpected about Brackley, with 3 at the back and the 2 wing backs, and Matt Lowes, Morgan Roberts, Danny Waldron up front, Scott Pollock and Jack Price in midfield. Brackley still with those injuries to midfielders Shane Byrne and Zach Brown, and they're both big misses for Gavin Cowan, but we've got more than adequate substitutes on the pitch and just need to regain some composure here and realise the whole game is ahead of them.
Yeah, there's no need to rush, and as you say, just get their foot on the ball, as they're starting to do now, pass it around defence, get a feel for the game, and hope Woking tire in a way, because they have come out with high pressure, as Zach Lilly almost caught in defence again there.
Yeah, well, Woking, of course, with their tails up. They finished the game strongly on Saturday, having not really done themselves justice in the earlier parts of the game. Just had the perfect start here, so their tails are up, full of confidence, and as you say, full of energy and pressing. But the way to look at that opening goal is it just makes this evening's events all the more interesting.
Oh yes.
And there's a story waiting to be told here. So it's an early opportunity for Michael Nottingham to launch one of his trademark long throws. Instead, he decides to go short to Jack Price. Price crosses it in, and Kyle Morrison rises, doesn't make the best connection, and the ball a couple of yards wide doesn't trouble Will Jaskalainen, who's in the Woking goal.
But it's an attack. It's just slightly off target, but it's a start, and that's the most important thing for Brackley. Being a goal down already. You're listening to BBC Radio Oxford on the BBC Sport app and websites. Currently, Brackley Town 0, Woking 1 in the early stages of the FA Cup.
Jack Price picks up the ball in midfield there. Neat work from Price, who's really made that midfield shirt his own since overcoming a pre-season injury and then building up some match fitness. He's almost, you feel, first name on the team sheet for Gavin Cowan, with all that experience in the Championship and indeed in the Premier League with Wolverhampton Wanderers. And he took some time in the States and has come back and decided to enjoy his football here at Brackley, as Woking look to play the ball forward, but Gazdeen gets a header in, and then a shot fired in by Ashley Boatswain, and that forced Johnny Maxted to go down to his right, but comfortable save in the end. Ashley Boatswain on loan from Ipswich, he's making his debut off the bench on Saturday, scored with just about his first touch of the ball. That disputed goal, Brackley felt it was should have been a throw in, and a corner was indicated, taken quickly. Brackley were not in position, and Boatswain was alive to it, got the header in, giving Johnny Maxted really no chance, and that was the equaliser that set up this evening's replay. So played forward by Morrison, but it cut out, and now an opportunity for Woking to break down the left, and then good tackling back by Scott Pollock, who has looked very lively since coming back into the team. Put in a good performance away at FC Halifax 2 Saturdays ago, and spent a lot of time on the ball on Saturday, and that was important defensive work that the attack-minded midfielder got involved in as Brackley played the ball up into the channel for Danny Waldron, but ball out of play for a Woking throw. So Brackley kicking from right to left here under the lights at St James Park. It's a perfect evening, still, mild, it's dry. A decent crowd have come up from Woking, you have to say. Perhaps 100, 120, 130 even. Skazdeen gets his head to that and puts it out of play right in front of our commentary position.
This game's been started at quite a pace. Woking are trying to set it high, but the question I've got is, can they keep it up? Is that when Brackley will strike? Just kind of survive this onslaught for now and hopefully strike later?
Well, I don't think there was anything in the game on Saturday that suggested that Brackley tired towards the end. In fact, it was Brackley really creating the chances in those final 10-15 minutes. But we should remember, Brackley are a part-time team here against the full-time Woking. A ball with Matt Lowe. Chance for Brackley to break as Michael Nottingham going up the right. Pass didn't reach him. Cut out by the defence and pumped up to the halfway line, but then Brackley come back again now up the left with Ryan Haynes. He'll look to get an early cross in, and it's a good cross. It goes deep. And Michael Nottingham was coming in behind Matt Lowe. Lack of communication there meant that Matt Lowe got his head to it, but rather took it away from Nottingham, and that allows Woking to break, but they misplaced their pass and allows Brackley to try and build again. So it's been a positive start to this game by both teams. Both teams going for it. Woking have got the breakthrough goal, but you certainly sense there's more goals in this game. It's 8 minutes on the clock here at St James Park. It's Woking with that 1-0 lead here. FA Cup 4th qualifying round, and a replay under the lights at St James Park. Everybody cannot but help think about the prize that awaits the winner this evening. That home tie against... And now here's an opportunity for Matt Lowe. He's through on goal. And he finds the back of the net. So with 8.5 minutes on the clock, Brackley back level. There's a Brackley player down. I think he might need some treatment, but the ball was played through. A bit of defensive hesitancy, and Matt Lowe found himself clean through on goal, 1-on-1 with keeper Jaskalainen. Took a slight deflection off the keeper, but Lowe found the back of the net. It was Lowe who scored for Brackley on Saturday, and he's found the net within 8.5 minutes of this game starting. Matt Lowe's your man with the goals in his boots, clearly.
Oh, it really was. Matt Lowe getting the goal on Saturday as well. I have to admit, definitely a defensive error, but what good play by Brackley there, building up from the back and seeing that, I think it was Price, seeing Matt making that run and the fence splitting pass, leaving the two central defenders of Woking just unsure what to do and leaving two players completely on the deck. But he still had a lot to do to get it past the goalkeeper, but he did it, 1-1.
So, my goodness, we have a cup tie. We have a cup tie here at St James Park. We're not yet 10 minutes played, and each team have found the back of the net, and it's been a cracking start to this game. There are one or two other FA Cup 4th qualifying round replays this evening, and we'll just keep our eye on those, including, of course, Banbury away at St Albans City. Keep our eye on that. Harborough are also in action, so there's some interesting games to keep an eye on. And the ball on the halfway line with Woking. And now an opportunity for Woking to break away, but that's asking a little bit too much there. Josh Osudi. But Woking keep possession on the left. Midway inside the Brackley half, and they just decide to play the ball back to the halfway line and to Timmy Odesina. Started on the bench on Saturday. Aaron Drew here on the right, he was a starter, and clearly got the confidence of the manager to start him again. Free kick conceded by Haynes, but Woking waste no time in keeping this game flowing. Decent enough crowd around St James Park. Home game here in National League against Gateshead on Saturday, and then National League Cup game against Everton, Premier League 2 side. So plenty of football for Brackley supporters to enjoy here at St James Park. The ladies first team playing on Sunday. A narrow defeat last Sunday, playing for the first time at regional women's football level. Made a big step up this season. And the ball with Woking just inside their own half, and with Forster-Caskey, the scorer for Woking. And then the ball just runs through to Johnny Maxted in the Brackley goal, wearing all green, mint green outfit for Johnny Maxted this evening, and I contrast his outfit with Jääskeläinen's all black. Just do not understand that under the lights. Just doesn't work. But Matt Lowe finds Michael Nottingham, and then Price sweeps the ball out wide left to Ryan Haynes. Haynes lays it inside to Price and Roberts, who combine well to keep the ball for Brackley, and they're forced back into their own half with Lilly. And Lilly always ready to press forward, looking for the forward pass. Instead goes back to Pollock. And Pollock spreads it out to Kyle Morrison. Brackley just patiently putting a few passes together, building a little bit of confidence. There's no rush. It's 1-1. They very quickly knocked off that deficit from that opening goal of the game, just inside the first minute. What a blow that was. But what a great sign of the character of this Brackley team to strike back so quickly. The ball with Lilly at the back, and now Roberts, who's come deep to collect. He takes the option of laying it into the path of Dean, the captain.
If it helps, Tim, the only goal scored in the FA Cup fourth qualifying round are right here at St James's Park. Everywhere else 0-0.
We're in the right place as Morgan Roberts tries to line up a shot, takes a deflection, which could have caused a problem for Jääskeläinen, but he was alert to it and gathered the ball after one bounce. But that's Roberts cutting in from the right, got the shot away, took quite a deflection, was spinning, but the referee, the goalkeeper read it well, and then fires the ball upfield. I think we've used the phrase breathless start to the game once or twice this season, and that certainly describes what we're watching here with Ryan Haynes.
So things seem to be calming down a little bit, Brackley finding their rhythm.
And Zach Lilly dispossessed, but referee says that was a free kick. I think the referee just wants to go back to an incident a little while ago. So nothing more than a word. I think that's Caleb Richards in the left back position for Woking. Of course, we are familiar with Caleb Richards. He's an accomplished defender. We saw him many times in his days at Kidderminster Harriers. Has made the switch to Woking. So free kick to Brackley. It's taken by Maxted, who's well out of his goal. Up the channel towards Matt Lowe. And then the ball put out of play for a Brackley throw, just to the left of our commentary position, which, if you know St James Park here, is directly over the halfway line and opposite the dugouts and opposite the TV gantry. So Haynes, and he's let the ball run out of play there, Haynes. Under a little bit of pressure there from Forster Kasky.
We have a couple of goals in the fourth qualifying round of the FA Cup. Gainsborough have taken the lead against Hartlepool in the 16th minute, and AFC Totten have gone ahead against Truro.
Well, certainly Gainsborough against Hartlepool, that's something of a Lincolnshire local derby, I'm guessing. Certainly were some really interesting ties thrown up in the fourth qualifying round, and watching the draw for the first round proper yesterday evening, there's some really great games to look forward to, and we hope that Brackley will be amongst them, but that remains in the balance as Danny Waldron is penalised for, and there wasn't too much in it, but I guess he was just a little eager on the heels of Aaron Drew, and that sets Woking away up the left. But Pollock reads that really well, and he's up the right. He's got some pace, Pollock. He goes down. Referee in no doubt. Free kick to Brackley, right on the edge of the penalty area, and a first yellow card of the game against the Woking defender. We didn't see who that was, but he looks down Pollock.
Josh Asude. It looks to be with the yellow card there. The captain going quite forcefully in on Scott Pollock there, who slid, I think, almost the entire length of the penalty box there, and it's in a good position, this free kick. The question is, who's going to take it?
Well, he He was really going for it there, Pollock. He read the game and intercepted the pass just inside the Woking half, and he put in a terrific run of 25-30 yards, and it took that foul to stop the Brackley man as the spray comes out to line up the wall. And we've got Ryan Haynes left-footed, or Jack Price right-footed over this free kick. It's right on the corner of the penalty area. The referee's got the wall back a good 10 yards, and a good job as Wayne Cartmel. So free kick to Brackley. Looks like it's Haynes, right-footed. That was not too far away. It was not too far away from the goalkeeper's near post. Got it up and over the wall. It was dipping, and perhaps a couple of feet wide.
Yeah, I mean, they got the goalkeeper scrambling. Jääskeläinen was not certain it was going wide. So unlucky for Brackley there. They're sending the warning shots, but as we know with Brackley, they've got to take them. Woking have shown how quickly they can get back in games. Yeah,
well, it's pretty obvious what the area where Brackley needs to improve this season, and that's up front, converting those chances. And signed a new striker. We'll come to that in a moment. Morgan Roberts up. Lovely cross from Roberts. And Danny Waldron coming in at the back post. Chucks the ball in to put Brackley ahead. That was a lightning break by Brackley. Morgan Roberts up the left. Beautiful cross came in low and hard across the 6-yard box. Beat the defender. Goalkeeper just didn't know whether to come or not come. And Danny Waldron stroked the ball in at the back post with 18 minutes on the clock. It's Brackley 2, Woking 1.
That was phenomenal work by Morgan Roberts. Saw the space on the left-hand side and quick as lightning got down to the byline, crossing it back. And you say Jääskeläinen just in no man's land, not knowing whether to come or go. And well done to Danny Waldron, because he again still had a lot to do. He still had to make sure he didn't overpower the shot. Brackley with a deserved lead, I'll say.
Yes, certainly. After that really early blow, conceding inside the first minute, it's been all Brackley. They've looked really, really full of confidence, despite having gone behind so early. And Danny Waldron, as you say, that was not a straightforward finish. He was close in on goal, but the ball came across. It probably took a bit of a nick off the defender, and he kind of bundled it in, I guess, but he did the job, and that will do the world of good for Danny Waldron's confidence as well. Every striker needs to be finding the back of the net. And just before the goal, I was just saying that Brackley have today signed another striker on loan from Shrewsbury Town, Callum Stewart, who some listeners will remember was at Leamington and scored a hatful of goals there, because Gavin Cowan just sees that needs some more reinforcements, more options up front. But 2 goals in these first 20 minutes for Brackley is a great sign, and immediately chalks off that early goal that Woking struck. Free kick given against Morgan Roberts there on the halfway line. But so Brackley was stunned in that first minute, and now you just sense Woking are a little bit stunned. They're not sure quite what's hit them here, and what's hit them is a Brackley Town team playing some really good football. They had that little bit of a dip at Solihull Moors and against Wealdstone here, but you feel this evening right back to their very best. And the yellow card against Jack Price there.
Yeah, doing a sandwich job with Pollock on the Woking midfielder. But yeah, you say Brackley have had a dip in form recently. It was always going to come at this level at some point, better to, I think, get it done at this stage of the season rather, in March and April, where you're really needing points and things. But the Woking boss after the last game was saying they are aware of how defensively tight Brackley are. They're losing, they've lost some games, but not by many, and that's important.
Yeah, look, every game this season has been Brackley have been competitive, and that's all that supporters can ask. And getting those early 4 league wins on the board and getting those points was really important. I remember talking to Boston United after their first season up, and they just struggled to get those wins. And it took a late challenge from Boston to stay up. Struggling again this season, but just shows how strong this division is, as the ball with Lowe up the right for Brackley, and try to play in Michael Nottingham. I think that could be a corner for Brackley, and indeed it is. So first corner of the game, and it goes to the home side.
Brackley turning the screw. You can see the frustration starting to come across some of the Woking players, who I think weren't expecting a quick fire double from Brackley to get back in here. In case you're just tuning in, it's BBC Radio Oxford on the BBC Sport website. Carl Buckingham and Tim Carroll commentating, bringing you the action today. It's Brackley Town 2, Woking 1. Woking took an early lead in the first minute, but goals from Matt Lowe and Danny Waldron have got the Saints right back in it.
So corner to come in from the right for Brackley. And a good defensive header, but then Morgan Roberts is there for Brackley. And another foul on a Brackley player, and referee goes across, and one or two Brackley players are unhappy with that challenge. Wayne Cartmel just needs to manage this situation carefully. We've had a couple of yellow cards in the last few minutes. There's a lot at stake here, and there's Woking players remonstrating with the referee's assistant. There's a number of players involved here, and things just need to calm down as Ryan Haynes is a straight red card for the Woking player. Haven't seen who it is, but something was clearly going to happen there. Ryan Haynes is down and getting treatment from the Woking physio, but Woking will be down to 10 men as a straight red card.
It was a late tackle flying in. I think the reason he's been sent off is it was not under control. It was
it was a dangerous, reckless.
Looks like it's Josh Asude who has been sent off for Woking.
So straight red card, and that means that for the remainder of this game, Woking will be playing with 10, and that poses a challenge for Woking. But it always poses a challenge for the opposition as well, because it really rather changes the game. And
it changes the dynamic, doesn't it? It's you think, oh, it's easy. I've got an extra man that can run around and things, but I always feel the pitch kind of becomes smaller when you're playing against 10 men. It can sometimes mean it's harder to find those spaces.
Well, it certainly, as you say, changes the dynamic, and Gavin Cowan very quick to gather some of his players around to give them a word, so a wise word or two. There's been a free kick to Brackley now. It always seems very unfair to me that the player who's been fouled has to go off the pitch. Now he's had his treatment and wait 30 seconds to come back on. I mean, he was fouled. Referees acknowledge that, given a red card, and Ryan Haynes is having to now wait to be allowed to come back on. But we'll restart with a free kick to Brackley. 25 minutes on the clock here at St James Park, and I think this will be Jack Price to take this free kick from the right. An opportunity to launch the ball into the penalty area. It goes in, and it's very close to a third goal for Brackley. Who would have thought it was Gaz Dean just inside the penalty area, and he rather scuffed his shot, but he was well placed, Gaz Dean. The ball fell loose to him, and he struck it through a crowd of players, and it wasn't too far wide.
It really wasn't. Just taking a look at the other fixtures taking place for the FA Cup fourth qualifying round. It's Chester 0, Morecambe 0. Harborough have also had a man sent off there, 0-0 against Altrincham. Hartlepool 0, Gainsborough 1. St Albans 0, Banbury 0. Sutton 0, Farnham 0, and Truro 0, AFC Totton 1.
Well, all eyes on the Sutton-Farnham game. That was a brilliant game on Saturday.
Oh, it was amazing.
Covered on the BBC, 3-3. Seventh minute of added time when Sutton found that equaliser. Great atmosphere at Farnham Town, a club that really pulling up trees, you have to say. So Woking on the attack, coming up to the edge of the Brackley penalty area. And good defensive work, but it's not cleared yet. And it's half cleared, and now Michael Nottingham has a chance to slide in and fire the ball up for Matt Lowe to chase. And Lowe wins the ball off the defender. He's got nobody up in support with him. Danny Waldron now joining him in the middle, but Lowe, superb play by Matt Lowe. Oh. He is. He's fighting for every ball here this evening, and he chased that one down, beat the defender, got to the byline, beat the attentions of two more defenders, got the cross in, but Danny Waldron just wasn't quite there in time.
It was just, no one could keep up with him. He put the afterburners on, and say Danny Waldron and Morgan Roberts arriving late, but it was way too late by then. Fantastic work by Matt Lowe.
So it's Brackley who've the team threatening to score the next goal here, but it is still just 2 goals to 1, and everything's still in the balance. And FA Cup action up and down the country just reminds us of what this competition's all about, and certainly supporters know that, and talking to the players before the game, they feel the excitement as well. You only have so many FA Cup competitions in your career, and everybody wants to make the most of it. Our offside flag goes up. Gazdean knew that was offside, put his arm up, and then the referee's assistant agrees and flags the Woking man. I think that was Ashley Boatswain offside, and Brackley underway again with Jack Price, the man who pulls the strings for Brackley. And a lovely play there by Carl Morrison, takes him up to halfway line. A little layoff from Matt Lowe, but wasn't quite accurate enough, and allows Woking to go all the way back to Jääskeläinen. And then Dean can just tidy up for Brackley. And Zach Lilly, lovely little bit of work by Lilly, but he loses the ball then. He looked up to find the pass, and that gave the Woking player the opportunity to slide in and dispossess him. And so it's back at the trusted boot of Gazdean, the captain.
What a contrast to Brackley on this back line here, who are all out of sorts after that early goal scored in the first minute, and now playing with calm and confidence to play across this back line, even with the Woking attackers lurking.
Yeah, look, defensively Brackley very strong. Conceded 1 or 2 soft goals in the last 3 or 4 games that have just made the difference really, and it can happen, and that's what happened in the first minute. But Brackley have come back really quickly, and they're in a great position now at home against 10 men, 2-1 ahead, 29 minutes on the clock, and free kick given to Brackley. Woking supporters not happy with that, gathered away behind the goal to our left. It's not a segregated game, so supporters can mix, and there was a good mix, a good atmosphere in the clubhouse before the game, but supporters choosing their end to watch the game from. The ball played into Danny Waldron, but he wasn't able to gain possession, and now Ryan Haynes able to get in front of Timmy Odesina and just knock the ball back to Maxted.
That was excellent work by Haynes. He ran halfway down the half to get back in position and tackle the attacker. That was good, solid work rate, and it looks like Brackley been caught offside here.
Well, Ryan Haynes picked up an injury about 6 weeks ago, missed a number of weeks, has only just come back into the team, and you can just see that once a player starts to regain their full match fitness, we're starting to see the best of Ryan Haynes again. You can train as much as you like, but you have to be out there to really get that match fitness. And Ryan Haynes, certainly good value for his place this evening. And Zach Lilly needs to step in. It's a little scrappy period of play now, the last few minutes. Flag goes up for a Brackley throw. Again, Woking unhappy with that decision. Fourth official just steps in and says to Neil Ardley, the Woking manager, look, that is the decision. Woking manager got his head in his hands.
That was very dramatic. Lean back by Neil Ardley there.
Look, it's a throw in on the halfway line. It's not exactly a penalty. So not too much at stake, but will be a free kick to Woking up near their penalty area.
Yeah, a little shove in the back there on the Woking defender by Matt Lowe, spotted by the ref.
So as I say, Gateshead are next up here for Brackley next Saturday in National League, and then Brackley will go to Southend United, and that's one that I know Brackley supporters are looking forward to, a first ever visit to Roots Hall, and then of course that first round FA Cup tie if this continues to go well for Brackley, but nobody can count any chickens at this stage. A long way still to go in this game. Since the sending off, it's been a rather scrappy affair. Again, almost as if both teams just need to start again. Different situation. And now Michael Nottingham up the right. Having his shirt tugged, but he's a big, strong. So ball laid into Zach Lilly. Good first touch from Lilly. And he might have a shot from here. He fires it in. And doesn't really get hold of it, but certainly well worth an effort. Started his career, Zach Lilly, as a centre forward, and has converted to a defender. And you can see that when he's on the ball. He's a skillful defender. I like to think of him in the Rio Ferdinand mould.
Oh, that's a flashback there. Call back. But yeah, he just kept going. I was like, most central defenders would be trying to find that pass and give it to someone else, but no, he was determined. But yeah, the shot just pulling it that tad too wide and making it easy for Jääskeläinen to gather, and then the ball coming straight back to Johnny Maxted.
Well, Jääskeläinen, of course, the son of Jussi Jääskeläinen, Finnish international keeper. 450 appearances for Bolton Wanderers. He played for West Ham as well. I think Wigan may have been another one of his teams. So good goalkeeping pedigree in the Jääskeläinen family. And then Brackley just lose out in midfield. And Carl Morrison able to sweep up and just put the ball back to Maxted, who's had little to do, just had to pick the ball out the back of the net after a minute, and then another save moments later. Didn't trouble him too much. Beyond that, very little for Maxted to do. All the action's been at the other end with Haynes. And Matt Lowe's been given a torrid time there by Odesina, and you have to say, at what point does the referee draw the line and say that's a free kick?
I think the rest giving out quite a few, a red card and 2 yellows in it was about a 10-minute period. I think trying to let some things go, maybe just to see if the players calm themselves down. But the tackles, as you say, are flying in still. The passion is there, and Danny Waldron and Matt Lowe have had their shirt almost taken off their back a couple of times.
So, just for a moment, all is a little subdued, a little quiet around St James Park. The Woking supporters are, they're not happy with the turn this game's taken, and Brackley supporters just catching their breath. And as I say, since the red card, the game's taken on a rather different pattern.
Yeah, it's slowed down. I feel Woking have deliberately slowed the pace down, which they'll need to with 10 men to keep going and push for the equaliser.
Well, and it's working for them as well. They're enjoying much better possession, and Brackley, not finding it so easy to get on the ball. But it's Brackley with the lead with 35 minutes played, 10 minutes to half time. We'll have a little bit of added time after a red card and a couple of injuries. But Brackley will be very happy were they to go in 2-1 ahead at the break. So Maxted bowls it out to Lilly, who finds Haynes, who lays it inside to Price, who puts it back to Morrison, and Morrison will push forwards, finds Lowe, Nottingham rather, and then Brackley need to go all the way back, which is fine. They keep possession, and it comes out now to the left with Lilly, who again feeds Haynes. Familiar pattern. Brackley like to come up the left here. Haynes always looking for that opportunity to get beyond the defender. He's often got Morgan Roberts in support as well, and indeed it's Roberts on the support on the ball here. Tries to play it up over the defender. It's dealt with well. Timmy Akinola does a good job for his team, and he's up on the halfway line with Woking. And that's Matt Ward, and then Timmy Akinola as he gets the ball. It's a Brackley player down. I think it's Morgan Roberts, and because it's a head injury, the referee says, we need a physio to come on here. Have a little look at Morgan Roberts. He's certainly somebody who's in the wars. Takes a lot of stick, does Morgan Roberts.
I think already he's covered every blade of grass. He's really switching the play. I've seen him, I think, more times here on the left than he has the right. But he's popping up all over the place, causing all sorts of havoc for the Woking defenders because he's moving around. And there's quite a bit of frustration, I think, from the Woking players because they were on the attack and the game having to be pulled back. But I'll go through the scores in the FA Cup fourth qualifying round. Here at St James's Park, Brackley Town 2, Woking 1, with Woking having a Sude sent off. It's Chester 0, Morecambe 0, Harborough 0, Altrincham 0, but Harborough also down to 10 men. Hartlepool 0, Gainsborough 1. In the St Albans game against Banbury, it's 0-0 there. Farnham have just taken the lead against Sutton away there in that replay, and it's still Truro 0, AFC Totton 1.
Really interesting cup action up and down the country this evening, and nowhere more so than here at St James Park in Brackley, on the Northamptonshire Oxfordshire border. It's a perfect evening for football and for watching football as well, you have to say.
It's really pleasant. I put the big coat on for no reason.
Yeah, no, it's mild and it's still and dry. A superb playing surface out there. At the ball with Woking, just taking a little time. Roberts now allowed back on after his enforced break for injury. And Matt Ward on the ball in the penalty area for Woking, but of course they're a man short, and so always have that extra man up front. So Jake Forster-Caskey on the ball, and he just takes a little bit of time and knocks it back to the halfway line, then picks it up again. A useful player, certainly trusted by Neil Ardley to start the game this evening, having started on the bench and come on as a substitute on Saturday. Woking player goes over, referee says no, that's not a foul, and then Brackley carelessly give the ball away when they had an opportunity to break, and then Ryan Haynes just steps in, and Woking should just be able to deal with that. Matt Lowe just clips the Woking player, and I really don't feel that needs to have been a yellow card for Matt Lowe.
I feel like he's been warned a couple of times, and it's the ref putting his stamp on it. But the earlier part with Brackley giving the ball straight away, I felt all the under 10 coaches were screaming play to the whistle at that point, because as if they expected the foul to be given.
Yeah, well, it's a few yellow cards we've had already, and the red, and it's not been a dirty game by any means. It's been a very good game of football.
Passionate game, I would say.
And it's still completely in the balance. Good work by Lowe, big and strong, holds the ball up, and now here's Danny Waldron, and he's tackled as he tries to go up the left, and allows Tunjai Akinoli to come away with it for Woking. One of the Akinoli brothers, Timmy, starting this evening as well as Tunjai. Timmy was on the bench but did come on, and good work by Michael Nottingham, just stops the attempted cross from the left by Woking, and then the Woking head puts the ball out of play for a throw in. It's all gone a little bit flat here at St James Park, and we're 5 minutes away from half time as Michael Nottingham is down, and we need to anxiously wait and see what this is about.
Hopefully just winded. I think he might have taken an elbow to the stomach, hopefully. But I think both sides are just waiting for half time now. Banbury need to regroup and figure out how they're going to tackle the 10 men going forward, and Woking figure out how they're going to try and get back in this game with 10 men. But as you say, it's been a really passionate game. Both teams want this. They want to get to that first round proper. It means the world to them. And I have to say, Tim, really good turnout for a Tuesday night. Very good turnout.
Yep, look, short notice. Tuesday evening, plenty of home games have just gone, and plenty of home games still to come. And the Brackley faithful have turned out in good number. And as we commented earlier, there's a decent turnout from Woking as well. There was a good away following at Woking, enjoying the sunshine. It was a gorgeous day in Surrey on Saturday. I know that in Brackley, people who were here following the commentary said it was a thoroughly grey, miserable, overcast day. But
you're in the right place then.
It was certainly in Woking. It was shirt sleeves weather, literally. It was a beautiful day. But Michael Nottingham is up, and looks as if he will be continuing. I feel it's been a big plus, Brackley having Michael Nottingham back in the team. He adds a lot of experience. He adds that height at the back, and he's a wing back, always looking to get forward. Remember watching him against Brackley when he was playing for Solihull Moors, and then he went off to Salford City, of course. And you just felt, yeah, there's a player you'd like to have in your ranks. And
what do you know? He's here.
At the age of 36, after some time up in Scotland, he is here and just waiting for the word to come back on. So both teams just down to 10 men temporarily. 3 defenders up against Matt Lowe, but Lowe battling, and referee says, yeah, pushing the back there by Lowe. And he just needs to be a little bit careful. He's got a yellow card. Don't want... give referee Cartmel the opportunity to even up numbers.
No, we've seen he is eager to get cards out, trying to stamp his authority on the game. But if we can just make it, if Brackley and Woking can make it to half time, I think it'll be a very different second half to what we've seen in this first half.
So Zach Lilly's header up to the halfway line. Good work by Scott Pollock. We said earlier he's full of energy. Is Scott Pollock wanted to make the most of his opportunity in the first team. Lovely touch from Danny Walton, and a shot on the run by Morgan Roberts. First time effort. That was spectacular. And it was a few yards wide in the end, but my goodness, that's the sort of moment that that supporters come to football for.
And that's the danger that Morgan Roberts gives Brackley. He just pops up out of nowhere. You give him the ball, he'll drive forward. Don't give him the chance, because he'll try and take it. He was unlucky the finish let him down, but what a goal that would have been. That would have nestled right in the top left corner.
And it was set up by terrific work by Danny Waldron. It looked as if he'd lost the ball in that duel with the defender, but he reached out a leg and just poked it into the path of Roberts. One touch for Roberts, and then he fired in the shot, and yeah, that was quite something. It would have been had it found the back of the net, but remains here. Brackley 2, Woking 1. Only the second time these two clubs have ever met. Never met in the league yet.
I say it's coming.
That'll come in November. Ball into the Brackley box, but well defended. Ball will now come back into the Brackley penalty area. Ryan Haynes goes up and picked up by Roberts. And Roberts tries to get the ball away. It's charged down and out of play for a Brackley goal kick with just a few seconds of the scheduled 45 still to run. We'll see the board go up in a moment for added time. I'm guessing perhaps 4.
I'm going to say 3, just to be different, Tim.
Well,
we'll go for 3. See who's right.
I think it's going to be 5.
We'll both be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
But it's what I would say. It's not what either team want right now. Yeah, it's all this added time.
There we are. It is 5.
All right, I'll get you the biscuits. You win.
So
Johnny Maxted taking the goal kick over to the left-hand side. Nottingham showing his aerial prowess. You wouldn't know he was down injured a short while ago.
So Woking finishing the half strongly here, as he's fending for Brackley to do. And that will be the first corner of the game to the visitors. It's been a more or less cornerless half. There have been halves where Brackley have had 9 or 10 corners so far this season. Just the one to Brackley, and now just the first corner of the game to Woking. And got 2 men over the corner. I think they're looking to take a short one. I'm not sure why.
Timmy Akinola just lurking there on the edge of the box.
So they do take a short one. It's occupying 2 Brackley defenders. They're forced wide, so cross will come in from not such an advantageous angle. Looking to work the shot. And that was a good effort. Johnny Maxted, I think he had it covered. but he worked the opportunity well, the Woking player, and fired in that left foot shot, and that wasn't too far away.
No, I've never seen a corner play like that. It was Matt Ward doing a 1-2 in the short, and then just basically pulling the defenders out to try and take that shot on the edge of the D. I would say Johnny Maxter didn't seem that concerned at all. It looked like it was always going over, but it made me catch my breath a bit.
It's the ball at the back with Brackley, and poor clearance by Zach Lilly, and yellow card to Gaz Dean.
Ward driving forward again, and Gaz Dean, I think he pulled out of the initial tackle but was still in the way, and Ward barreling over him like a rollover, a bit like a gymnastics move I'd say, Tim.
Well, the yellow cards are building up here, and of course they will have a consequence for players who are available to play in the next round. I'm not going to say any more about that, but that is disappointing. Anyways, we're going to finish the half. We are on 47.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes at least of added time still to play, and we've got a free kick here to Woking.
This is in prime Beckham territory. You know, your free kick makers, they want it in this spot, and it looks like it's going to be the scorer of Woking's goal, Jake Forster-Caskey, to take this free kick.
Yeah, well, Brackley with 5 men in the wall, and referees got them back good distance. Rio Ferdinand earlier, we now mentioned David Beckham. There's a definite Manchester United thread running through the evening. For a free kick to come from Forster-Caskey, and it's an equaliser. That was a superb free kick. Beat Maxted at the near post. It was curling away from him, and well, that was the last thing that Brackley needed. Almost the last kick of the half, and Jake Forster-Caskey levels from the free kick.
What a free kick it was, bent right round the wall into the bottom right corner. You thought the wall had that covered, but he knew what he was doing. Cool as a cucumber. Forster-Caskey now with 2 goals against Brackley today, and that changes everything again in this game.
Well, look, it was a rash challenge that gave away the free kick and earned the Brackley captain a yellow card, and a superb free kick really has, you have to give credit to the Woking player. It just snuck inside the post. Not sure there was a whole lot that Maxted could do about it, and then a free kick against Danny Waldron as Brackley players just show their frustration, just moments away for going in at the break with that 2-1 lead. They've been pegged back 2-2 here with just moments still to play until the half-time whistle goes, and it's been a half-time 45 minutes of 4 goals, a red card, fistful of yellow cards, but lots of football, lots of really good football, and most of it, you have to say, played by the home team, but that counts for nothing because they'll be going in at half-time level with Woking, who will be cock-a-hoop. And how a moment like that changes a manager's half-time team talk.
It's also Woking have probably had 3 or 4 chances and taken half of them. This is the problem Brackley are having, is they need to shut them out in the second half and try and get a goal themselves.
Well, it's exactly what we said, that as the half-time whistle goes and it's 2-2 here, the game it's a different game since the red card. Woking having to respond, and Brackley just haven't looked the same going forward since the red card, and the last 10 minutes of the half, Woking enjoyed the better of things, capped it off by finding that second goal. My goodness, we've got a fascinating second half to look forward to here at St James Park.
If it stays this at the second half, we've also got penalties and all sorts to go to. But yeah, at St James's Park at half-time, it's Brackley Town 2, Woking 2. Woking with Josh Asudu sent off for a late tackle on Morgan Roberts. Scorers for Brackley, Matt Lowe on the minutes. A lovely through on goal, one-on-one, capitalising on a mistake from the back line of Woking. And Jake Forster-Caskey with 2 goals for Woking, scoring in the first minute, catching Brackley sleeping. And then, as you heard, a fantastic free kick on the stroke of half-time. The second goal for Banbury was scored by Danny Waldron. It was a great, powerful effort there. We'll be back with second half commentary in about 15 minutes. Welcome back to St James's Park for the second half of Brackley Town versus Woking in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. Oh, I've just about caught my breath, I'll be honest with you. It was an incredible first half. We had a goal in the first minute by Woking, Jake Forster-Caskey, capitalising on a sleepy Brackley back line and getting Woking ahead. And it took until the 8th minute for Matt Lowe to capitalise on Woking's defensive error. A splitting pass from Morgan Roberts, putting Matt Lowe through on goal. He still had a lot to do. The keeper, Jyskelainen, got a hand on it, but Matt Lowe putting Brackley level. And Brackley then took the lead on the 18th minute. Danny Waldron with a fierce shot into the goal. But on the stroke of half-time, Woking in David Beckham territory with a free kick. And it was that man, Jake Forster-Caskey, again drawing Woking level. The Cards, I found that they're called, Tim. The Cards, after the Cardinals.
Well, I spent half of Saturday trying to find out from a Woking supporter, or any Woking supporter, where the nickname came from. But I have found out eventually today. Apparently Cardinal colours, the red and white half shirts that they normally wear. Apparently.
Are you sure it's just not they didn't want like the Queen of Hearts, Alice in Wonderland?
Well, I certainly couldn't find anybody at Woking who knew where the name came from.
Fair enough. Also, Woking are down to 10 men with Josh Yasudi sent off for a late tackle on that man Morgan Roberts. It looks like we've got a substitution from Woking at half time, trying to tactically figure out how to get around 10 men. Looks to be, we'll let you know who that is shortly.
I think it's Matt Ward who's gone off, and is it just looking to see who's come on?
It's fun. This is when my astigmatism comes into joy, Tim, because it just blurs the lights all over the place, and I've become the weekend song Blinding Lights.
Yeah, it's Ollie Sanderson who's come on.
Ollie Sanderson.
So change there for Woking. Managers can make 5 changes from their 7 substitutions, and there's an extra substitute can be used if this match goes to extra time.
I really hope it doesn't, because I don't know if I could take it, Tim.
Well, let's see what the second half serves up. But certainly it's Woking who finished the half on top, finding that late equaliser, and they'd enjoyed a really good last 10 minutes of the half. And Brackley will be really kicking themselves. So in such a commanding position, playing really good football, with Woking down to 10 men. Brackley had clawed their way back from conceding that early goal to go 2-1 up, and then to concede that goal so late is a real... Well, I can only imagine what the manager would have been saying at half-time as the ball's at the back with Woking. Enjoyed all the possession so far since we started in this second half. We're in the second minute of the second half, and managers will have to give some thought to the possibility of extra time, I guess, in terms of players' minutes and substitutes. And then as we get into extra time, we have to think about possible penalties, but let's not utter that word.
No, it's banned
again. So Scott Pollock punts it up towards Danny Waldron, but the defender does a good job, and it allows Forster-Caskey, the goal scorer for 2 times goal scorer for Woking, and then Caleb Richards just knocks the ball back. So Woking just content to play keep ball. They are the team down to 10 men. They don't want to be chasing things, so the longer they can retain possession, the more they can reserve their energy for later in the game. And they just put the ball up towards the halfway line. It's good control by Ashley Boatswain.
And that was a late tackle there by the Brackley player on the Woking defender, who's writhing on the floor. Now, what could it be? A yellow card, and the Woking bench furious because they believe it was a similar tackle to what got Josh Asude sent off. I'd say that was more controlled. That was a Haynes with the yellow card there going in late on the Woking midfielder, who's still on the ground. It was controlled, definitely yellow card worthy, but I don't think the calls for red are correct on that front.
No, but the yellow card count is mounting up. That's 4 yellow cards for Brackley, and the 1 yellow and the straight red for Woking. The second half not really got going yet.
It's picking up where it left off though, with the passionate tackles. I think that's the best way to describe these tackles. The players are wanting it. They're wanting every ball.
So I'm not sure what's happening here. Jeske and the goalkeeper I was just going over to collect the ball, but he's all of 50 yards out of his goal, so I'm not sure what that's about.
I mean, if he's taking this free kick from 10 yards out of the centre circle in his own half, I'd say brave, but everyone's moving back into Brackley's half, so maybe a sensible idea.
So Woking waiting for their injured player to be given permission to come back on, and it's Jaskalainen, left-footed, takes this free kick, and it's not best effort.
Not sure what he was trying to do there, because there didn't seem any Woking players around the left-hand side.
Straight out of play for a Brackley throw, and Brackley will want to get on the ball and get back to the way they started this game, for the way they played for the first 30 minutes, really. Because they were seemingly in complete control, as Danny Waldron tries to go up the wing and forces the defender just to put the ball out for a Brackley throw in front of the family stand here at St James Park, and it's well populated this evening. And now Ryan Haynes crosses it in deep for Michael Nottingham, heads it down but didn't get any power in the header, and the goalkeeper Jaskalainen can quite comfortably gather, but it was a good move, well worked by Brackley, and cross came in, could see where it was heading, and it reached Nottingham. So Michael Nottingham now lays the ball down the channel, and Matt Lowe manages to get there, crosses it in.
Oh, Danny Waldron with the header straight up in the air, just couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, it was a good cross that came in, but it had to be met perfectly, and then the referee says free kick against Michael Nottingham again. It's a rather soft free kick, but that was a good move by Brackley. Went down the right, cross came in. Matt Lowe having a really good night. Matt Lowe, I have to say, got one of the Brackley goals and really contributed well to his side's performance so far. Got to the byline, crossed it in, but it was just inches too high really for Danny Waldron.
I think, as you say, very clever by Nottingham. Great vision to see him in the space playing it, and I think a lot of people thought that was a lost cause, but Matt Lowe, did all the credit to him to getting on the end of that and putting the cross in, even though it didn't come to anything. Brackley starting this half on top. It's 2-2 in this FA Cup fourth qualifying match. The winners of this tie will meet Notts County in the first round proper.
So Carl Morrison just steps in to put the ball back to Maxted, who has to hurry to clear that first time. It's a bit of a harem-scarum game at the moment. Neither team really getting hold of the ball, but Woking perhaps having the better of things in these early stages of the second half. And the man of the moment, Forster Kaski, scorer of both goals for the visitors, lays the ball off, and now Woking come forward up to the edge of the penalty area. Substitute Ollie Sanderson spreads it out to Richards. Richards cuts in, looking for a option to shoot, fires the shot in. Good work by Nottingham to block the shot, and then Nottingham's able to clear out for a throw in. And of course Woking are attacking the goal behind which their supporters are gathered. You can hear the chants going up of yellows. Well, they are wearing yellow tonight, so you can understand the shouts. Woking supporters trying to get behind their team.
it's quite interesting to see Richards being quite high up the pitch, similar to Michael Nottingham. I think he's been told to push up high to try and prevent Nottingham from doing the same for Banbury. Brackley, I apologise there. It's because I'm currently looking at Banbury 0, St Albans 0.
Well, there will be some games this evening, no doubt, going into extra time. That's where we're heading here at the moment, but 53 minutes on the clock, plenty of football to be played before we get to that point. The ball with Woking back on the halfway line. The ball up in the air, it'll eventually fall for Dean, and he just pumps it forward for Waldron to chase. Danny Waldron, scorer of that second Brackley goal. Took his chance really well, did Waldron. And Michael Nottingham is down here and is going to need some attention. There's an injury for Nottingham.
He did go down quite hard in the first half, didn't he? I think it's his quad. So I'm stretching that out. Maybe he's tried to come out in this second half and give his all for the team, but it might be that his race is run. Who's likely to come on for him, Tim? Do we have a straight substitution on the bench for Brackley?
Yeah, it would most likely be Tyler Little, or it could be Ricardo Calder on the left, and another player switches over, but I guess it will be Tyler Little. But Brackley will very much want Nottingham to continue, if at all possible.
I mean, he's been exceptional so far. I think he's had Richards' number, and you can see how Woking early in this, 54 minutes gone, early in this game already pushing Richards up, Wokingham, to try and counteract Nottingham's effectiveness on this right-hand side. But I still think he's got his number. But I don't know if that's looking good. He's up, and he's hobbling.
Well, there's been... so Brackley are bringing on... Tyler Little, I'm guessing. So
Morrison clapping the back of Gaz Dean. He does it as well. Gaz Dean putting the instructions to the rest of the team as he wanders off. That is such a shame, but also shows the selfless nature of Michael Nottingham. He could have really gone, no, I'm going to force my way through and I want to stay on for this match, but realising the team effort is more important, and this early on might go in Brackley's advantage.
It's a like for like. Tyler Little comes on. So big miss for Brackley, really losing Michael Nottingham, but he's put in a good shift for his team, and Tyler Little is a more than adequate substitute. Cross comes in from Brackley, and Matt Lowe gets his head to it, but so does as a defender. Referee says it came off the defender for a first corner of this second half, and it's gone the way of Brackley. So Jack Price will take this corner from the left. It'll be an in-swinger. Brackley got plenty of men in there. Scott Pollock and Tyler Little have stayed back for Brackley. Everybody else is in the penalty area. Corner comes in. Cleared up to the edge of the penalty area. And a whole bundle of players go up for it. Pollock's done well, and he's tackled. Not a foul, says the referee, but the Brackley have the ball on the halfway line. Opportunity to build something here as Pollock, always eager to drive forward, and now Haynes finds Price. Price lays it into the penalty area to Pollock. There's a lovely pass. Pollock twists and turns, trying to get past the defender. And the shot comes in from Tyler Little, cleared off the line.
Oh, that would have been a hero's welcome for Tyler Little. The football finds it to him after a little knock on by Morgan Roberts, but the Woking defenders getting in place, and then the Woking defender falling over and not being able to clear the lines. Everyone seemed static for what seemed like an eternity, but they did get it away, and Brackley come forward again.
Yeah, good move, as you say. Nice touch from Morgan Roberts. Just took it away from the defender, and then Tyler Little hit his shot well, kept it low, and just cleared off the line for Woking. The ball with Morgan Roberts on the left, and now back to Dean and Zach Lilly. in the centre circle. Spreads it out to Carl Morrison on the right. Morrison with those trademark blue boots of his. And now Dean. Dean, one of those Brackley players who's had a yellow card. Out to Ryan Haynes. This is good play by Brackley. Lovely passing and movement. And now Jack Price crosses it up towards Matt Lowe, whose header tries to find Scott Pollock, but it's a little heavy. But Brackley retain possession with Price. Very rarely that you see Jack Price lose possession. He looks after the ball very well for his team. Here he is again on the ball. This time spreads it to the left to Zach Lilly, who advances and feeds it out to Ryan Haynes on the left. Haynes crosses it in first time. It's deep towards Matt Lowe. Defender gets there first. But then Woking missed control. Under some pressure here, Woking. Cross comes in. A header from the defender. Doesn't go out for a corner, but then goes out for a throw in to Brackley in front of the Woking dugout. But good pressure this that Brackley
really
are building.
Good. Also, can I just say, those diving defender headers, I think any striker would be proud of those.
Well, it did the job on that occasion. We're approaching the hour mark here. It's Brackley Town 2, Woking 2, FA Cup action, and just begin to feel a little bit of tension out there now.
No one wants to make another mistake, because 2 of these goals have come from, or 3 of them actually, 3 out of the 4 have come from individual mistakes. And you have that feeling that no one wants to be the one to make the 4th mistake.
And Matt Lowe battling for the ball on the byline and wins a corner for his team. I have to say, I think Matt Lowe has been quite outstanding for Brackley so far this evening. He's on the score sheet and battling away up the right and wins a corner for his side. And I think that it will be Ryan Haynes who's going to take the corner.
He will have to be careful, Matt Lowe. He is on a yellow card. And as you said, he is really battling with the Woking defenders.
So Pollock is on the edge of the penalty area, as is Tyler Little. Jack Price is sitting a little deeper for the clearance. Everybody else is in the penalty area. Goalkeeper is under his bar with both arms raised.
Brackley lined up like NFL tactics.
Here comes the corner. The goalie gets one hand to it, and it's another corner to Brackley.
Yeah, it felt like the NFL with them all lined up in the middle there, ready to push off and find space. We're seeing that more and more in football these days.
Well, I think there's a general understanding that set pieces become more and more important. We've seen that with Arsenal in the Premier League, been very successful with their pre-planned set pieces. To corner from the left from Price onto the penalty spot, and referee says there was a push. I think Gaz Dean will have a little word with the referee as he goes past, and it'll be a free kick to Woking.
Well, while we're waiting for that free kick to be taken, in the other 4th round qualifying rounds, Chester 0, Morecambe 0. These are the latest scores. Harbour have had a man sent off 0, Altrincham 0, Hartlepool 0, Gainsborough 3, St Albans 0, Banbury 0, Sutton 0, Farnham 1, and Truro 0, AFC Totton 1. Totton having a man sent off as well. Lots of red cards.
Yeah, well, perhaps just tells us how much is at stake here in these cup ties, but plenty of ties at the moment in the balance, as it is here, as Haynes puts it forward, one for Lowe and Walden to chase, but it's Forster. Caskey comes away with it. It's certainly impressive on the ball is Forster Caskey, and the goal scorer, and the ball just played inside Little, who does well. He read it well, Little, covered back and allows Maxted to clear.
Yeah, Richards wasn't far behind him for Woking. He's pushed up quite high and he's trying to find that space, and between Little and Morrison, he hasn't found it. It's the first time he's found it so far in the second half.
So there's an offside there for Woking, as they have a rare foray forward. So Roberts cuts inside. Just trying to take on one man too many, Roberts. He skipped past the first one, but then was immediately closed down and needed to release the ball and wasn't able to do so. The ball at the back with Tunjai Akinola for Woking. Now Woking, you have to say, they looking relatively settled. Come to terms with being a man down, reorganised. A little bit light up front, of course. But this game far from over. Carl Morrison slides in and puts the ball out for a Woking throw on that far side from our commentary position. The floodlights burning brightly here at St James Park. Beautiful evening, still, it's calm evening, perfect for football as a deep cross comes in, and Johnny Maxted deals with that capably.
That could have been a tricky one for Maxted, but comfortable hands, safety hands. He knew exactly where it was going.
And Morrison fires it up towards Lowe, and Lowe was pushed over there surely. The referee not interested, it's just a little nudge perhaps. And the goalkeeper's clearance right up in the air, and Little wins the header. And then back to Jaskalainen, who puts it high up to the halfway line. Dean challenges, doesn't win the ball, but it's enough for the ball to run through to Morrison. The ball immediately played out to Haynes, but Haynes plays a rather loose ball up the wing. Doesn't give Waldron much of a chance. Allows Woking to come back. It's a fluid game, shall we say, from end to end. Not too much going through midfield at the moment, as Woking try and attack but concede possession and allows Brackley to come back. 64 minutes on the clock here at St James Park. It's 2-2. An absorbing game. 4 goals in the first half. A fistful of yellow cards, a red card. And Brackley so frustrated to concede that late goal in the first half to surely change the tenor and the tone of Gavin Cowan's half-time team talk. So Price on the ball for Brackley in midfield in the centre circle with Lilly. Again feeds Haynes, and Haynes crosses, and it's the goal for Brackley again. It's that man Matt Lowe. The cross came in from Ryan Haynes. It was a fantastic cross to the edge of the 6-yard box, speared in towards Matt Lowe. Danny Waldron was in close proximity as well, but it was Matt Lowe, got his head to it, gave the goalkeeper at point blank range no chance. It's Brackley 3, Woking 2.
Oh, he jumped like a basketball player going for the slam dunk. He hung in the air as that ball came over, the defender standing no chance, getting between the two of them and heading home. Jaskalainen standing no chance, as Tim said. That was all down to Ryan Haynes. I don't know why I've got Michael in my headphone. I've decided he's going to be called Michael now. But no, Ryan Haynes did a phenomenal cross in. It's as if straight off the training ground that. But can Brackley hold on to this lead?
Well, it was a superb cross from Haynes. Generally, in this game, we tend to see him trying to go past the defender and pull the ball across from a good angle, but on this occasion he didn't try to do that. From sort of midway inside the Woking half, he speared that cross in, and is a super header from Matt Lowe under pressure from the defender, and gave the goalkeeper no chance, and puts Brackley ahead once again in this game with 66 minutes on the clock.
How are your nerves, Tim?
Well, a lot easier having seen that goal go in, if I'm entirely honest. It was a first round game, home game against Notts County on the weekend of the 1st of November, awaiting the winners of this tie. I put money on it being one of the televised games over the weekend. It's a plum game, undoubtedly. There's one or two of them, but and I'm not just saying it as a Brackley Town man, but this will be a plum tie. I'm sure there's plenty of people up and down the country will be fascinated to watch this game, as they were the Farnham-Sutton game on Saturday that I thought was superb, and of course Farnham with that 1-0 lead away at Sutton in the replay.
Sadly now Sutton have equalised, so it might be similar to Saturday, going backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll keep our eye on those goals as they go in elsewhere, but we've had 5 goals here, and Haynes again crosses it in, and again Matt Lowe goes in, and it's another goal for Brackley. So it was an identikit goal. The cross came in from Haynes from the left. Matlow got there. It wasn't a low header. The ball then ran loose. There was a scramble of defenders and Brackley players, and somebody chucked it over the line. We think it was Danny Waldron. His second goal of the game, and that makes it Brackley 4, Woking 2, with 68 minutes played here. Now surely Brackley aren't going to let this slip.
Don't say it, you'll jinx it, Tim. But I have to admit, if Danny Waldron hadn't been there to tuck that away, I think it would have been a penalty, because Matlow was bundled to the ground. And Woking now making a change. It's Ashley Boatswain, the scorer of the equaliser at the weekend, has gone off.
Goal scorer for Brackley Town on 68 minutes with his second of the game. Number 14, Danny Waldron.
Much needed for his confidence going back into the league games at the weekend. Woking made a substitution. We went on confirmation on who has come on. But yeah, this is Brackley's to lose now. But Woking have already managed to claw themselves back into the game. Can they do it again? As the ball goes back to Jyskalainen, who immediately kicks it out of touch on the far right-hand side. Brackley back in possession again.
So Boatswain off, and we're just looking to see who it is who's replaced him. But it's going to take a monumental effort now from 10 men, Woking to get back into this game, you have to say. But they are a team of character. They're a hardened National League team. Josh Kelly it was who's come on as Brackley come forward again. And Danny Waldron back battling for that on the halfway line, does well, allows Morrison to step in and put the ball into the channel, where Akinola just touches it back to his keeper, and Woking are going to have to go for this as the minutes begin to tick away. And they will do, and there will be defending for Brackley to do, 10 men or not. This is an FA Cup tie, and Woking will give everything to try and find a way back into this game. Ball out onto the right on the corner flag. Woking player just looking for an angle. It goes back to Forster Kaski. And then good intervention by Roberts. Concedes the throw in, but breaks up the momentum for Woking. They have a throw in on that far side.
I say Josh Kelly was immediately on and hustling and bustling with Morrison. He's got energy. That's what Brackley have got to be wary of, is the energy of these substitutes. But then again, Morgan Roberts is like the Duracell bunny. Does he ever stop? He's powering through. But
well, I think it was after about 20 minutes when you said that he'd just about covered every blade of grass. Well, he's done that 2 or 3 times now. Great player, great team player, Morgan Roberts, as offside flag goes up there as another substitution for Woking. It's number 4, captain Okoli, going off with 71 minutes on the clock, and we'll see who it is who's coming on.
While we wait for the confirmation of that substitution, I'll go through the scores in the other 4th round qualifying games. Jack Turner on for Captain Okoli, but as we know here at St James's Park, Brackley Town 4, Woking 2. Chester Morecambe still 0-0, as is Harborough versus Altrincham. It's Hartlepool 0, Gainsborough 3. And St Albans 0, Banbury 0, Sutton, Farnham 1-1, as is Truro and AFC Totton.
So here it's Brackley Town 3, Brackley Town 4, Woking 2.
Don't do them out of a goal, Tim.
With 20 minutes still to play, plenty of action still to come here at St James Park, but things looking good for Brackley at the moment, and the onus is on Woking now to find a way forward with their 10 men to get a way back into this game. So ball with the substitutes. Jack Turner, first touch for him, and that man Forster Kaski, who's running things for Woking in midfield. I've been very impressed with him again this evening. Now Woking come forward up the right. Brackley need to be focused here. I rather felt they took the foot off the pedal in that first half after the red card. I'm sure it's not deliberate, but that's what it looked like, and let Woking back in, and boy, they came back in with that free kick just before the end of the first half, and that took the teams in at 2-2, and then Brackley have struck twice within 3 minutes. Matt Lowe and Ryan Haynes involved in both goals. Matt Lowe with a header for the third, and then Danny Waldron just picking up the loose ball in the scramble and touching it over the line to put Brackley 4-2 ahead, and surely now odds-on favourites to make it into the next round, but they need to manage this game well and need to stay focused, and with that man Gazdeen at the back who's now waving his arms and gesticulating at players, he won't let that happen again, I'm sure.
So Woking find Kelly in the Brackley half, but Brackley pushing back, but he's twisting and turning, but is unable to get past 3 of the Brackley players, but who immediately give it away. And Woking comes down the right-hand side, but barging Haynes off the ball. Again, Haynes managing well done to win the ball in the corner before hoofing it up to the halfway line, hoping Matt Lowe can get on the end of it. Can he? He's in a foot race with the defender and just loses his footing. And the Woking defender putting his arms out, but no foul given as Richards brings the ball forward for Woking over to Akinolo, switches the play, and just walking forward with the ball is Jack Turner, and a foul given and free kick to Woking just about 10 yards outside of the centre circle. A little bit of pressure being put on Brackley by Woking at the moment, but I think Woking, as you said, are going to have to take more and more risks to try and get back in this game. 74 minutes gone, and can Brackley take advantage of the gaps that will be left at the back?
Well, that's the only way that it can be. There's plenty of time to find 2 goals, but Woking got to find a way forward, and they'll leave gaps at the back, and that can open up an opportunity for a 5th for Brackley. But this game continues to offer surprises. It's been good value for everyone who's made it to St James Park tonight, and we'll find out what the attendance is very shortly. But been a good turnout, as it was on Saturday at Woking. I think the FA Cup still got a lot of appeal and attraction. It's Connor Hall coming on for Brackley.
And Matt Lowe going off. I think he's run his race. He's on that yellow card. You don't want him. He's done his duty. He's done his 2 goals. He got Brackley back into this tie on 8 minutes. And then he also got them back into ahead, so to say, on the 64th minute, making it 3-2. He's done well. He was really on that line, though. I was worried about him with the pushing and pulling with the defenders. This ref has been quite card happy. It would only take him viewing it the wrong angle. It might have been down to 10 men, so I think that's a great decision by Gavin Cowan.
Was another substitution as well. This time it's 25 off. That's Forster-Caskey for Woking, and again we need to look and see who it is who's come on. It looks like
Tarek Hines,
number 14 on. I think that Matt Lowe, by his high standards, had a bit of a dip in form in recent games, but Woking on Saturday he was excellent, and he has been terrific again tonight. Certainly been man of the match, I would say, not just his 2 goals that he scored, but
his work ethic has been phenomenal, and like he's had a point to prove.
Yep. Well, here's Woking now, got to come forward to try and find a 3rd goal to make these final stages of the game, with 77 minutes played here, to make these final stages of the game interesting. The longer it goes on, with Brackley 2-0 up or 2 goals ahead, you feel Brackley can begin to feel we are heading for that first round proper. Both teams made the first round proper last season, of course. Woking went out to Cambridge United. Brackley made it to the 2nd round, where we had that terrific day up at Stockport County, where Brackley put in a terrific performance, but just fell short on the day. And that elusive third round place yet to be achieved by Brackley, but one day it will happen.
So Woking, their furthest they've got in the FA Cup is the 4th round proper back in 1991.
Yeah, well, they were a real FA Cup team in the 90s. They made the 3rd round on a number of occasions, and as you say, the 4th round on one occasion. That's quite something for a non-league team. They're not cup runs that anyone's going to forget quickly. You're unlikely to be here at St James Park for long before someone mentions 2018 and the FA Cup FA Trophy win over Bromley at Wembley.
That is where the magic of the FA Cup still lives on, is in clubs like this. You always know what was the best run of the FA Cup for your team, and like you say, most people can go, oh yeah.
Undoubtedly. Well, we've got 12 minutes of scheduled time still to run here, plenty of substitutions. Referee says Danny Walden's committed a foul, and that'll have to come back for a free kick to Timmy Odesina. Takes that in the centre circle. Brackley all back behind the ball. Connor Hall not yet seen too much action since coming on. Came on as a substitute on Saturday as well, did Hall. Brackley's front line will be bolstered by the introduction of Callum Stewart, coming in on loan from Shrewsbury, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't make an appearance on Saturday when Brackley take on Gateshead here.
Well, Tim, I have to say, you remember how you said it was a barnstormer of a game at the weekend between Sutton and Farnham? Farnham have regained the lead. It's 2-1 to Farnham away at Sutton. In Banbury still 0-0 away at St Albans, and the only other goal is Chester have taken the lead against Morecambe.
Well, plenty of interest there, and good luck to Farnham. You have to say they're a great story. Their rise up the leagues, 2 successive promotions. So ball out of play for a Woking throw. The ball right in front of the dugout. 4th official reaches for a substitute ball.
It does feel the tempo's really dropped now, with as it naturally would do with all the substitutions coming on. But it doesn't feel like Woking aren't rushing. They're not panicking. They're still prodding and prodding as they bring the ball over the halfway line, with Timmy Akola trying to take on the Brackley defenders, but passes the ball over to Jack Turner, who's trying to find options, so decides to splay it out to the right hand side, taking on Haynes. So Haynes managed to get a deflection. There's cries of handball from the Woking supporters, but just a corner.
So first corner of the second half to Woking, and Brackley need to be fully focused here, because Woking just need a goal and then it will be game on for the remaining minutes. And it takes, as we know, but a moment to score a goal. Here comes the corner. It's low and flicked up and over. And the referee says it's another corner. Couldn't see what happened there at all, to be honest.
But every Brackley player just launched themselves at that ball to make sure it did not get into the penalty area.
So it'll be another corner to come in from the right. It'll be an outswinger. Plenty of movement in that box. Header comes in from Morrison, and then it's cleared up towards the halfway line. And Roberts is there, as is Tyler Little. Does well, does Little. Feeds Roberts, and Roberts tries to play it in the path of Waldron. He's in a foot race against the defender Aaron Drew, who did well in getting there first and knocking it back to Jaskalainen, and then Morrison battles away for that, but it runs loose for Sanderson, one of the Woking subs. And Brackley with a chance just to slow it down and take a little bit of possession, but they work it out onto the left, and Haynes. And then Lilly, as is his wont, decides to chip it all the way back to Maxted.
Josh Kelly, though, was not giving him the time of day. He was not giving him many options at all, harassing him non-stop there until the only option was to pass back to Maxted. In other news, Sutton have equalised. It's now 2-2, Sutton versus Farnham.
We've had a terrific game here, and they've had one at Sutton as well, clearly. It's what the FA Cup's all about. And then missed kick from Jaskalainen, and put under a bit of pressure there by Waldron. Pass came back from Tarek Hines, and under a bit of pressure Jaskalainen, and he rather rushed his clearance, got under it, and out for a Brackley throw. And there's no hurry for Brackley to take this.
It looks like they're preparing 2 substitutions, Brackley, and Morgan Roberts was on his haunches for a little while. He's put in quite the shift today.
So cross comes in, charge down, doesn't go out for a corner, it's kept in, and now Roberts thought about shooting and then thinks better of it, and it comes back out to Price. Price lays it out to Roberts, who is everywhere, and then Roberts dispossessed, and allows Woking perhaps to come away. Brackley defending well here and managing this game well, and good play by Lilly there, just dispossesses the Woking attacker and concedes. The Woking attacker concedes a throw in, and now Brackley are going to make 3 substitutions by the looks of things.
It's like Morgan Roberts races run. He's given everything today, but he's going off to applause from the Banbury fans. We're also seeing Ryan Haynes going off as well. And the final player to go off is Danny Waldron. 2 goals. All 3 of those players have given everything today and
they've
put Banbury ahead several times in this match. Brackley.
And it's Bailey Hobson, Ricardo Calder and Miracle Okafor who've all come on, and they can have a short run out in what should hopefully be the final minutes of this game, unless something dramatic happens here at St James Park.
You're going to jinx it?
Well, yeah, I really mustn't. It's a free kick to Brackley on the halfway line. The ball's in the hands of Jack Price. We've had a few yellow cards in this second half, so they're more or less like for like substitutions. Brackley will keep the same shape. They're managing the game well.
Are some of these substitutions, you think, in mind for the weekend? Like just not over tiring?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty unusual these days for managers not to make full use of their substitutions, because with the added time that gets added on, games are much more than 90 minutes these
Very
days.
true.
They tend to be typically at least 100 minutes, sometimes a lot more. And it's a squad game. Brackley have got a small squad, not a full-time team like Woking. And these players will train on Thursday and then play on Saturday. Got a game next Tuesday when Everton, PL2 team, are here in the National League Cup, as Connor Hall, lovely play from him, and now here's Bailey Hobson up to the byline, crosses it in, chance for Pollock to shoot. There's another goal from Pollock. That's a lovely finish. Great work by Bailey Hobson, picked out Scott Pollock, and Scott Pollock, as it was under challenge, but fired it in, and it's 5-2 for Brackley. There is a Woking player who's collided with the perimeter fencing, and so he's going to need some physio attention. But in the meantime, the Brackley players are celebrating a 5th goal to surely put this game to bed, and it surely means that it's Brackley who will be facing Notts County here on the weekend of November the 1st in the first round of the FA Cup.
Wow. I mean, that was a fantastic goal by Pollock. A great cross back by Hobson. And I didn't see who it was, but one of the Brackley players just touched it ever so slightly back for Pollock to line up to put Brackley 3 goals ahead. And he still had plenty to do on the edge of the box. He had to get it through quite the mass of players, and Paul Jaskalainen really stood no chance because he couldn't see. We've currently got treatment for the Woking player who's collided with the advertising hood, so I'll go through the other games that are taking place. St Albans 0, Banbury 0. That one looks like it's going to extra time. As we know here, Brackley Town 5, Woking 2. Woking had a man sent off earlier. 2 goals from Matt Lowe, 2 from Danny Waldron, 1 from Scott Pollock. Chester taking a 2-goal lead against Morecambe. Harborough 0, Altrincham 0. Harbour had a man sent off. Looks like they're heading to extra time, all in the 89th minute. Hartlepool have just got a goal back, but might be too little too late in the 90th minute. They're 3-1 down at home against Gainsborough. Sutton 2, Farnham 2. That also looks like it's heading to extra time, as is Truro versus AFC Totton. 1-1 in that game, with Totton having a man sent off. Good news, the Wokingham player is back up and walking round the pitch. We never like to see that type of injury colliding with the boards, and hopefully we'll be back on the pitch soon.
Yeah, so it's Jack Turner who's gone off. He's up and moving well, so that's good news. And we're just looking to see who's come on, and it's Jamie Andrews has come on for these final few minutes. 87 minutes on the clock here at St James Park, Brackley, with a 3-goal lead. Here, 5-2 at St James Park. But here's Caleb Richards for Woking. They won't give up, that's for sure. They'll keep battling away, trying to find a way back into this game. The ball with Tarek Hines, a man with those fluorescent pink boots. You can't miss
You
Hines.
really can't.
The ball back on the halfway line with Woking.
That's a nice interchange, and Sanderson.
So Sanderson, they worked their way through well there to get a shot on goal, but of course it was that man Dean who came across, and just a ricochet takes it out for a Woking corner, with just a minute of scheduled time still to play here. Then we'll see the board, and well, you're going to have a guess, Carlo,
Okay, I got
how much added time?
I got it really wrong. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to go for 5 because we've had the injury time there and quite a few substitutes.
Yeah. Corner comes in, and Okafor clears it up into a completely uninhabited Woking half, apart from the keeper, and Jaskalainen comes out, just stands on the ball and waits for players to make their moves, and then launches it up towards the edge of the Brackley penalty area, and then Pollock up to Hall. Hall tries to play up Hobson. Hobson does well and finds Little. And then back to Price, and Brackley with the ball back in their own half, just taking the sting out of this game. We're now just seconds away from the end of normal time. We'll wait to see the board go up. It's ready to be raised on the far side. The throw into Woking in front of our position. It's 7 minutes. Well, look, you're getting closer, Carl.
I'm getting closer.
On a percentage basis, you're getting closer.
I'm not doing well.
So
this is why I'm not a fourth official.
So 7 minutes to play here. Caleb Richards just knocks it back to Tunjai Akinola, and a little bit of the energy has perhaps gone out of Woking. They realise they're not going to get 3 goals back here in 6.5 minutes of added time.
Stranger things have happened, Tim.
Well, they have, but not at St James Park. It's been a terrific evening, it really has, and poor sort of 10-15 minutes for Brackley, but otherwise they played really well, and I don't think anyone can argue they haven't deserved this. Ball up into the penalty area with Miracle Okafor, holds the ball up to Okafor. It's got Tyler Little in support. It's a defender who gets in, and Okafor and the defender are wrestling. And we've just heard the attendance announced, 661. It's a good turnout for a Tuesday evening FA Cup tie. Of course, season ticket holders, had to pay for their tickets. That always makes a difference to the turnout. And good following from Woking, and not too far back for them this evening down the M40. Short trip round the M25, they'll be home. As Dean heads it up towards Okafor. Beat the offside track there, well did Okafor. Lays it to Little, crosses it in. Half a chance, comes to Pollock. Referee's given free kick right on the edge. That was just inches away from being a penalty.
I was going to say, I think it was by Pollock's, Pollock's trying to go, it was a penalty, but it was more of a fall into the box rather than actually being tackled in the box. It's definitely a good call by the ref there. But Miracle Oxford was unlucky there. The ball just bouncing away from him, because I think if it had bounced to the left rather than the right, he would have been in there to at least maybe pulled the ball back or maybe had a shot on target. But instead, he made good use. Tyler Little made the run on the outside of him on the overlap. And now they've got a chance to make it 6.
Well, they're queuing up to take this free kick, and my money's on Jack Price, but Scott Pollock is there as well. This
is not in prime Beckham territory. It's a bit too close.
This is Jack Price
territory.
So just left of centre, right on the edge of the penalty area. Free kick to... And a lovely effort by Price, pushed away by the keeper. He was well positioned, and Bailey Hobson picks up the loose ball, takes it over to the corner flag. It's up against Tarek Hines, and the ball out of play for, looks like a goal kick to Woking. 93 minutes played here, 4 minutes of added time still remaining. That was a good chance for Brackley. Jack Price struck it well, but comfortable save in the end for the keeper. Saw it all the way, but it ate up some of those crucial seconds for Brackley.
Yeah, it's well played. This is the time you do take it into the corner to see it out. I hate it when you see it like in the 70th minute. Try and get that extra goal. But Brackley, they want another one. I thought they would be playing it more into the corner now, but they're fighting for every ball and trying to get that 6th goal.
Yep, and play it out to Ricardo Calder. First opportunity for him really to stretch his legs and try and get the cross in, and referee indicates a corner. So he's done his job as Calder. Came on for Ryan Haynes. First opportunity for Calder to get up the wing. Challenge came off the defender for a Brackley corner, and this is just what Gavin Cowan, the manager, would want. The ball is at the right end of the pitch. We're into the 95th minute here. St James Park, FA Cup action, Brackley Town 5, Woking 2. It's been an excellent game of football for any neutral, and certainly for Brackley supporters.
You can see how confident they are. Johnny Max says basically in the centre circle.
So corner comes in from Price, and it's a 6th goal for Brackley, and it's Kyle Morrison with his first goal for the club. Came in at the back post, hit it on the half volley direct from the corner, and it somehow found its way past a number of defenders and the keeper on the line to make it 6-2 to Brackley. Who said that Brackley were having trouble finding the back of the net?
Not me, Tim, not me. Oh, that was great work by Carl Morrison there to go to the back post. I mean, just to follow through and have that determination just in case the ball slipped through, and he did, and he hit that ball emphatically into the back of the net. That 6th goal just as important as the first goal for Brackley.
Well, we've a minute and a half still to play, and at this point in the game, Woking just want the referee to whistle up as much as Brackley do. Brackley have hit them for 6. Whoever's writing the match report this evening, well, I say whoever, it will be me. I think there's a ready-made headline coming up, and Brackley are not renowned for hitting the back of the net too often. They're the lowest scorers in National League at the moment, but they've certainly found a rich vein of form in front of goal this evening, and nobody can argue that they're not worthy winners.
Yeah, definitely. And also with Woking being in the National League as well, this will do. It's not like you're taking on minnows from several leagues below. This is a good opponent, and this will do all the strikers a world of good going back into the National League campaign.
Yep. Been a terrific evening for everybody here at St James Park, and just in the dying seconds of the game here, free kick for Brackley launched up. It's great for Carl Morrison. He's been on the end of so many headers from corners. I mean, so close so often. We were just commenting on that on Saturday, how at some point he'd have to get it right and find the back of the net. And good work by Bailey Hobson. Spreads it out to the right to Tyler Little. Can he now? He cuts inside, chips the cross in. Brackley greedy for more goals here. It's cleared out, comes to Dean.
Got to love the cries of shoot to Gaz Dean on the halfway line.
Yeah, well, a Gaz Dean goal really would top it off. Ball back in the Brackley half with that man Dean. how he's led his team to a famous victory here. You have to say this evening this will go down in the annals, and that is the final whistle here. It's been a terrific evening for Brackley supporters. It's Brackley who go through to the first round proper, where they'll face Notts County here in what will be surely the tie of the round. It's been an emphatic win by 6-2, and I think, Carla, we've thoroughly enjoyed it, haven't we?
Oh, can't every Tuesday night be like this, Tim? It'd be great. You know, they say about, can you do it at Stoke on a Tuesday night? No, can you do it at Brackley on a gorgeous night in the FA Cup? Yes, you can. It was brilliant tonight. How are you feeling, Tim? The FA Cup first round proper.
Yeah, look, there's a huge game now for everyone associated with Brackley Town to look forward to. Gavin Cowan will be as cool as you like afterwards and say we're just thinking about Gateshead on Saturday, and so they should be. 3 really important National League points at stake, but nevertheless there's a huge game coming up here at St James Park. It'll be packed to the rafters. It will be the game of the round, and it will the expectation on that final whistle is beginning to build already, shall we say.
Oh, you can feel the buzz as the supporters leave the ground. But yeah, it's ended here at St James's Park. Brackley Town 6, Woking 2. Thank you very much. I've been Carla Buckingham, and alongside me has been Tim Carroll. And this has been BBC Radio Oxford live on the BBC Sport website and app. Have a good night.